Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Ashley McDowell. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. An emergency meeting is keeping boats in business at Charlie Dock. We have the details. Also tonight, DPS is searching for a suspect considered to be armed and dangerous. And cannabis is one step closer to becoming legal in the CNMI as another meeting wraps up. In sports, girls high school volleyball gears up for a postseason run. Stay with us, these stories and more are next.
"48 hours. That's all we get in a week. But those 48 hours, we try to make them last forever. How? By filling in fast with all the right stuff. With a lot of laughter, a little drama, some adventure, and a whole lot of love."
Dad, Mom's here.
It happens pretty quick,
Bye, Dad.
but it's cool. Because the rest of the week, we talk about our plans
You want to go to the beach?
on how to make the next 48 hours last us a lifetime.
At one of Saipan's beaches, this mother lays about 100 eggs under the cover of darkness. She hides her nest as best she can and then slowly makes her way back to the ocean. The eggs hatch and the babies head for the sea, where they will face a daily dose of danger. Just 1 in 1,000 will make it to adulthood. Those that do will one day lay their own eggs. Sea turtles are protected under CNMI law. If you see one that is stranded or if you see illegal activity, call the hotline at 287-8537.
Hafa Day, Tirawami, and good evening, Commonwealth. Today is Thursday, October 17th, 2019. Industry insiders said today boats that have been using Charlie Dock to pick up customers going to Managaha were told that they would not be able to do so starting tomorrow. But a late afternoon emergency meeting has, at least for now, keep the boats in business at Charlie Dock. This was the scene today at Charlie Dock. This boat, owned by Adonis Santos, was bringing back customers from Managaha Island. Several of the large operators have moved their boats here, in part to save a $3 passenger fee imposed at Smiling Cove Marina. J. Dean Villagomez at the Commonwealth Ports Authority said this afternoon that some information about Charlie Dock had gone out, but it was rescinded. She said it will be business as usual tomorrow, meaning the boats given permission to operate there can continue. A CPA board meeting is scheduled for next week. Manny Panglinen said this afternoon that he has started replacing some of the docks at Smiling Cove and next week will begin work on the parking area, saying he will slowly show that the fee is about maintaining and upgrading the facility and providing safety to customers. He said after the boats headed to Charlie Dock that he had a discussion with the CPA board member Pete Regis about having uniform passenger fees. The Department of Public Safety is seeking your help in locating a male that is wanted for burglary and theft, assault and battery, and assault with a dangerous weapon. The Honorable Judge Teresa Kim Tenorio issued an arrest warrant for 30-year-old Michael Jordan Palacios Cabrera, where a cash bail would be set at $30,000. DPS states that any person that is found aiding Cabrera evade arrest will be charged with accessory. DPS also states if Cabrera is cited to not approach him, as he is considered to be armed and dangerous. If you have any information or see Cabrera, call 911 or the Criminal Investigation Bureau at 234-909-9042, or to remain anonymous, call CNMI Crime Stoppers at 234-7272. A Chuukese male is arrested for the charges of disturbing the peace and assault and battery after beating up another male. Officers from the Department of Public Safety were called to JYA Apartments in Shalankanoa, where the victim was met and was bleeding from his head. Medics arrived at the scene and the victim was taken to the Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation, where he received one staple stitch. Detectives learned the victim had been beaten up by a Chuukese male identified as M.A. Kutch, who lives in Saipan. Much later admitted to beating up the victim and was arrested with a cash bail set at $5,000. The Cannabis Commission finished up another meeting today, agreeing on regulations that will bring the CNMI one step closer to legalizing cannabis. Take a listen.
We've been really active in getting together and making sure that we're meeting on a regular basis, and so far it's been successful. We have now come up with a draft that is ready to be submitted to the AG's office for legal sufficiency review, and hopefully everything comes back smoothly and we'll be able to roll it out and get this thing going.
The draft consists of a fee for the registration cards and the legality of growing marijuana, where Chairwoman Nadine De Leon Guerrero says they are focusing on the commercial aspect of the cannabis before moving to medicinal.
The parameters are how many plants you can grow, what is considered to be legal in a sense where you cannot have plants growing where minors can see visibly, show the, you can't just have it growing out in your backyard without having it concealed from the public.
The legal age for buying and consumption is 21 and is a key focus to the Cannabis Commission for regulation.
What's very important is that we keep this away from minors and children. We cannot stress that enough, that in order for this to work in proper tone and in proper fashion, we do have to make sure that we are protecting the minors and that it doesn't get into the wrong hands. So part of the drive with getting that promulgated and getting it drafted into regulation is that we're trying to make sure that minors don't get a hold of this without proper education.
This is the fourth meeting the Cannabis Commission has finished up, where Chairwoman De Leon Guerrero says their next meeting will be centered on hiring a managing director.
Our next meeting is going to head into executive session where we start conducting the interviews for our first hire, which is the managing director. And the managing director is a very, very important position in a sense where that person will drive the industry. There's a lot on their shoulders as well as what we have to do. We want to focus on policy and making sure that the public is within bounds of the law. The managing director will pretty much be the operational driving force behind making this industry work. So that person has got a big role to fill, and we're very excited to have them on board.
The Cannabis Commission has narrowed the applicants down to 5 people, and on Wednesday, October 23rd, they will interview the remaining applicants and fill the position.
It really is based on experience, their educational background, heavily focused on experience, I should say, because a lot of it is managing skills. A lot of it is being able to work with policy and legislative skills, I guess I should say, because a lot of it is going to be focused on whether or not we need to tweak the law based on what we're going through as the industry grows. So definitely looking out for that. We do know that nothing is set in stone. Although it is law, there is going to be some point in time where we feel we're going to reach where we have to start approaching the legislature and talking about maybe this doesn't work. Can we go ahead and work on possibly amending this so that it does work for the CNMI? And the managing director will have a big role in that process.
The Cannabis Commission has a little less than 5 months to wrap up the rules and regulations before cannabis becomes officially legal in the CNMI. Reporting for KSPN, I'm Ashley McDowell. Coming up, a congressman from Saipan once said, "You can tell a lot about a society by the way they treat animals." Find out who said that after the break.
Get the phone plan you're looking for at IT&E. Stay connected with the strongest, widest, and most reliable network in the Marianas. Stream, share, play, shop, and surf the web with super fast 4G LTE data. Whether you need just a few gigabytes of data to get by, or if you want to go further with unlimited data, there's a plan for you. You'll always get the best price. Visit any IT&E store or call us to learn more. IT&E. Explore your world.
Watch the Visitors Channel online, on time, anytime at saipantv.com. Where to go, what to see, what to do, restaurants, spas, activities, and culture, it's all in one place, in high definition on your mobile device. saipantv.com. Check it out.
Welcome back to the Channel 2 News. A 4-year-old bill passes through the House for the third time, and now its future lies with the Senate once more. KSPN's Sally Lemus has more.
It's called the CNMI Animal Protection Law, and the author of the bill continues to fight for it and is hopeful this time around.
People have asked me, well, why do you even bother if it didn't pass the first 2 times? And I said, well, because the third time could be a charm, right? And I'm very optimistic and hopeful. And I believe that the bill has made improvements, tremendous strides over the years. There's things that have been put into it that have made it better. It's a collective effort. And I am also grateful that in the Senate we have Senator Vinnie Sablon, who was also a co-sponsor of the bill in the past, and who is very much an advocate for animals, domesticated animals. And several of my colleagues in the Senate seem very supportive as well. So I'm grateful for them for looking into this bill, and I'm optimistic that it will pass.
The Animal Protection Law means to prevent cruelty and theft of animals and to provide penalties for such acts.
Right now, the alternative is continuing to have 0 animal cruelty laws in our books. And of course, we are the only state or territory in all of the United States and all our possessions that, and we're the only ones that don't have any Animal Protection Act or any animal cruelty laws whatsoever. So I think it's about time that we do this.
The bill's focus is to protect the lives of only domesticated animals or pets. Any reports of torture, abuse, and neglect of pets may lead to paying a fine or have the courts intervene for further actions.
We can't tell people that, to stop, raising livestock because, that's part of life, and we understand that. But we also understand that certain animals were meant to be pets and certain animals were meant to be eaten. So that's been kind of an argument back and forth that we've heard.
Over the years, Probst stated the bill has stayed intact, although changes like the exclusion of roosters that are used for cockfighting has been included in order to gain support from the majority. For the third time around, Probst continues to urge the concerned community to take action and continue the support.
I do ask that those out there in the community who have pets, who are concerned about having some type of animal protection law in the Commonwealth, support this bill and also talk to their senators to ensure that they pass it. It's the right thing to do. We shouldn't be the only territory in the United States that does not have any animal cruelty laws. I mean, Guam has it, American Samoa has it, Puerto Rico has it. every place that you look at has some sort of, and we continue to rank dead last when it comes to animal protection. So I think it's time to get this done.
This is Sally Limis for KSPN News.
Thank you, Sally. On Guam, a proposal to increase tuition at the University of Guam has students showing strong opposition. KUAM reports.
Here's your Guam news update. UOG's Board of Regents backed off from its initial tuition increase proposal. Here's more.
It was last Friday that UOG held a public hearing on a plan to increase tuition by 10% over the next 3 semesters starting next semester. Students reacted strongly to the proposal, saying basically too much, too soon. In a standing room only meeting to ratify the proposal, board members opted to amend it. Chairman Chris Felix.
After a long discussion, we decided to allow the president to determine the fees as needed, but no more than 10%, starting not this semester, but next semester.
UOG President Dr. Thomas Christ was given the discretion to implement the tuition and also to increase fees within specific parameters. The school has said the increases were necessary because of reduced budget appropriations. Senator Amanda Shelton was one of at least 4 senators who attended the board meeting. She and her colleagues, along with the governor, have said UOG should consider ways of raising other revenues before raising tuition.
No one was fully funded at their budget request, and so we ask for that kind of understanding here at UOG. But we have introduced bills to help us rectify that situation, to help UOG be a little more financially independent and make their own money and go into public-private partnerships.
Felix says they are looking to such partnerships to raise revenues, but realistically, it'll take a few years to generate the new income.
The primary income of the university, unfortunately, is the government, is the legislature, and funding from the legislature. And unfortunately, over the past 6 years, not only was the funding given us not enough, but then what was actually we received was less than that. And I thank them so much for giving us what they've given us. But I sure hope they'll look at maybe funding just a little bit more so we won't have to do any tuition increases.
I'm hoping that we can continue to work together, and if we come to that point, we'll address it then.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Joni Mayor Jesse Blas has a hearing as he's trying to get out of jail and wants a court to revoke an order that he be detained while he awaits trial. His attorney filed a motion last week arguing against the Fed's contention that he's a danger to the community. He's been charged in federal court with 6 counts of extortion and 7 counts of travel act bribery for allegedly permitting a confidential informant posing as a drug trafficker to use village mailboxes. His hearing is on the 25th. Check out KUAM.com for the very latest.
Thank you, Jason. Coming up, KSPN2 Sports goes to court. We have a trial and a resolution, and you're the judge.
Faster, easier to use. With live TV, recordings, video on demand, and streaming apps, all in a single place. When you're looking for something new, recommendations are tailored to you. Voice-powered, personalized results to find what you want faster. And the unlimited potential of smart home. The new experience from TiVo is here.
Bubblegum Shrimp Company opens daily at 11 a.m. Located on Beach Road in the heart of Garapan.
You deserve more. I know it's been hard. Come on, let's go for a ride.
Hi, welcome to Dow Rent to Own.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now this feels like home.
Dial Rent to Own, making lives better since 1987.
Buenas sports fans. Buenas sports fans, the girls volleyball regular season is going to wrap up this week. Let's look at the latest action.
The Manta Rays serving to Agape Christian School. Is there a hole in the middle of the floor? I don't know, but there's a hole in their defense. Point for Saipan Southern. After every point, the Rays smile and high five and celebrate. Life is great. Even when the other team scores a point, they smile and high five and celebrate. Life is great. Win or lose the point. Cass Camacho, she lets it go. Pretty smart, right? Point for the Manta Rays. Cass lets it go. Pretty smart, right? No, it was on the line. Point for Agape. They won the first set, 28-26. Staring the jaws of defeat right in the mouth. The Rays rally to take the second set, 25-17, and then the third, 15-10 to win the match. SIS 1 serving to SIS 2. Marizone, the service winner. She serves again, and what we have here is failure to communicate. Marizone, too good. SIS 1 is too good. They're undefeated. They roll SIS. 25-4, 25-12.
Well, this year, the Civic Center basketball court celebrates its 50th anniversary of hosting the first Micronesian Olympics basketball tournament. And last night, the One Pacific Promotional Basketball League semifinal paid a fitting tribute.
Center turns into a wonderful playland for this epic battle. Tsingtao boys and Pards ballers tied with 3:02 left in the fourth. Hang on for one of the most thrilling games we've seen on this court as Civic Center turns into a wonderful playland for this epic battle. Tsingtao boys and Pards ballers tied with 3:02 left in the fourth.
Guarded by Calbone. 76-73. Time left 2 minutes and 24 seconds. For everyone. It's a foul by number 23, Calbone.
This game had more fouls than a Tyson processing plant.
There's a foul. Calbone, Dinipit, supply, follow, the foul is good. The foul is 76-74. Last 2 minutes for 76 more. Arya, easily up for Arya. Score 78-76. Time left 1 minute and 37 seconds. Guys, Tangerino for 3.
I think this game was important. This was serious business. It became personal. Warnings, technicals, ejections. Well, what'd you expect? Officials spent so much time at the table they should have paid rent.
Last touch by Tsingtao. Foul lang.
If you weren't afraid of catching whistleitis, you could sit back and laugh.
Time left, 41 seconds. Both teams are on penalty situation. 3.5 seconds.
Game knotted at 83. Final seconds, we're going to overtime.
Torres, layup, good. Torres for 3. 499-98. Umali, missed the shot, reply. It was a 3.
This game turned on free throws as Pards never met a foul that they didn't like. Tsingtao makes enough free throws to take the lead and hold on it for the 2-point win.
Here's the windup and the pitch.
I don't believe what I just saw.
Let's roll at Gold's Gym Saipan with group exercise for every body. Total Resistant Exercise, or TRX, helps develop your core and improve strength. And Zumba toning is probably the funnest way to get fit. The Shake Cafe is a great place to stop by for a meal replacement or supplements. Today is the first day of the rest of your life.
Traveling or laying over on Guam? Don't wait around. Zip into Guam Adventures Zipline Park inside the Hilton Resort and Spa. Guides will take you through a series of zips, starting with a mountain course and then zip over the ocean with spectacular views of Tumon Bay. 6 zip lines in all deliver a thrilling experience, and it's family friendly, so bring the kids ages 6 and up. You'll love the security of double lines and a new braking system to make riding smoother. The towers are named after the islands in the Marianas. We call it the Island Hopper. Your guides will teach you what you need to know to soar through the jungle with a bird's eye view. Best of all, for residents of Saipan, Tinian, and Rota, you can book this experience at 20% savings. Log on to GuamAdventures.com and during checkout, use offer code HOFFA20. Book it and zip it today. We'll even pick you up.
Today's high, not too bad, 88. The low, not too bad, 77. The heat index, oh, it's bad, 100. Humidity, 79%. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy. Isolated showers here and there. Northeast winds, 10 to 15 miles an hour. High around 88, low 78. Seas calm, 3 to 5 feet. Sunrise tomorrow morning, 9 past 6. High tide at 10:57, followed by a low tide at 4:37. And then sunset again at Triple Nichols.
All right, thank you, Bob, for that weather report.
You're most welcome.
So, big update, I guess you could say. Third time's a charm. Let's hope
Yeah,
it
that
passes.
animal law, and
Animal law.
I'm not telling you what to do or anything like that, and I'm not trying to predict what's going to happen, but I got an idea for your story on the first. It's a little ways away.
Yeah.
The first Sunday in January of the new year. Will there be cockfights in Aslito? Every Sunday I go down, I go to Cobreville, I drive by Aslito, I see so many cars,
Lining
and I
the
know
streets,
on both sides of the street, and
Yep.
and there's a cockfight. It's every Sunday,
Yep.
and so we'll see. This is the conflict between federal law and local law.
Absolutely, because it's a local tradition. So
yeah, I mean, I have a print from the Spanish times of a cockfight on Saipan. So we're talking about something that's been going on for more than 100 years.
it goes way far back in history. Yeah. And so
farther than the animal protection laws.
There we. Yes, exactly. Yeah, we're just now getting into those, aren't we?
So we'll be. It'll be interesting to see.
Do you think there would be any other changes made, though? You think for the CNMI or Guam or anywhere else?
They're working on it. They'd like to.
I know they are working on it.
I think the federal government should, in my opinion, be a little flexible and considerate of local customs. Something that's been going on for such a long time.
Absolutely. Especially when you look back into the history.
And none of our congressmen voted on that law that was passed. I understand just because you don't vote, but still, nobody asked the CNMI for their input when that law was originally passed in U.S. Congress.
Yeah, as a Phil, they should have. So I agree with you on that.
They should have asked us, or they should put an exemption for us.
Exactly, I agree.
Although some people disagree, a lot of people against it. So.
True. You got both sides of the playing field there. Yeah. Well, thank you for watching tonight's edition of the Channel 2 News. Please tune in tomorrow night at 6.
Good night.
Have a great night.